Good evening, John. Nice meeting with you today. Here is video from the sewer scope from today's inspection. There's the clean out behind the laundry sink. Typical cast iron stack. Typical cast iron corrosion. Is what would be expected in an 80-year-old pipe. Actually, not terrible. Pretty good. It's going to get bumpy like that because, like we talked about with the galvanized pipe for your water supply, it corrodes on the inside, so it'll get rough and bumpy. That's likely an inlet of some sort. My guess is at this point we're close to the foundation. It could be a drain that's located somewhere outside. It could be an access point, clean out somewhere on the exterior. I'm just trying to get a good view of it, see what it looks like, but it definitely looks like an inlet. I'm going to turn some water on as well just to get a little orientation in the pipe, make sure that it's show you where up and down is. The inlet there, yeah, so that's a little bit, it's like 2 o'clock on the right hand side. So typical first indication of any kind of root growth right there. Get a little bit more coming in. The other benefit to having some water running is it allows me to clean off the camera head. This is a fairly dirty run. More roots to connection point. We're going from cast iron. We're gonna transition to an intermediary pipe. This may be a plastic line. It might be concrete as well. But we're definitely getting root growth in a lot of the sections. Somewhat of a challenging push just because you've got to kind of muscle your way through some of those growths. You can see that black ring right there. That's a gasket on the connection, so that tells me it's newer pipe. So there might have been a correction at some point to the line. With a lot of roots, with a lot of buildup and dirt, when you're pushing your camera head through there, you tend to catch it on the front of the lens. So I try what I can to wash it off with the water that's running right there. But sometimes you lose either visibility, or as you'll see up ahead, you'll lose the LED lights that are strung around the front of the camera head. So you get kind of a dark picture. Eventually I'll clear everything off. I'm running a higher volume of water now just to help me keep things clear and to help push through as well. We'll get the picture back in a second. We're just underwater at this point. You'll see the blockage once we break through on the other side. So that was just paper right there. So toilet paper potentially hung up on roots as well. That's the kind of the insidious part about it. The roots make like a web, and anything that it could grab hold of, like toilet paper or any other paper products, it'll hold. There's a good picture of some roots. If it gets bad enough, if it keeps accumulating and accumulating, that's where you get your blockage, and then there's the potential that you could get backed up into your house. All right, so free again. I'm gonna have a little trouble getting forward. Eventually I'll be able to, but I'll continue to go back and forth a number of times. The only real downside to that is the back and forth action of pulling the cable out and running it back forward again, or swishing it back and forth, tends to skew the counter, the footage. that's transition to clay pipe right there. So now we're, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, we're in clay right now, and we'll run into one moderate offset that'll hold me up for a little bit until I get some more water running, and then even more root growth. So again, roots again, and it's like, slapping dirty, gross noodles across the front of the lens. So again, it does do this basically. It obscures the lens a little bit and covers up the LED lights on there. Eventually, like I said, we'll get clear of this. So like we talked about earlier today, the final third of this push through the pipe really was a bit of a challenge. We actually still may be in that intermediary pipe, or not. Sorry, didn't get a good look at it there. No, I'm sorry, that is clay. Yep. So you can see the lip right there, that little bit of an offset, and the reddish color. That's the indicator, and one of the indicators that you're in that vitrified clay. Some pipes, you start at and you run through and you have just a smooth shot, and you just go right out to the city, no fuss, no muss. You make it there, and then you pull back. The other side to that is sometimes I'll get blocked. The lip, like the one right there, is high enough where I can't push over it or surf over it if I'm putting on more water. And then others, like this one, is you just got to kind of wrestle with it. There's a handful of tricks of the trade to be able to get past situations like this. Eventually, we'll be able to do that. I'm pulling back far enough. What I want to do is I want to try to clear out as much of the blockage as I can, if I can make a big enough path through the roots, and then get back far enough where when I do turn the water on full blast, that'll give me an opportunity to just kind of, again, like I said, surf over the top of it. So you can see the buildup of the water. It's starting to flow faster. That's what we want. And with that, like I said, I'll be able to get over that little hump right there. That pretty much does it, I think. It should get us over. We've still got root growth in these sections. The previous sections were a little worse than this is. And then coming up to the final drop right here, this downturn. And there it is. That's the city connection right there. So, like I said, all in all, a bit of a struggle, a bit of a wrestling match to get to the end, but we got to the end. The obvious takeaway here is that you have heavy root intrusion that just needs to be cleaned out. Once all of those obstructions are clear and the pipe is flowing freely, what you want to do is video again, have whoever cleans it out present a video showing that there is no damage, nothing of deeper concern. I'm going to keep the camera head rolling on my way back out. Feel free to watch the return trip if you want, and as always, reach out to me with any questions or if I can be of service.